Hello everybody and welcome to another Twilight Zone Retro Review. Today it is Season 1, Episode 22, The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Written by Rod Serling, starring Claude Akins as Steve, Barry Atwater as Mr. Goodman, and Jack Weston as Charlie, as well as a lot of other people. And before I start recapping this episode, let me just say that there will be some spoilers for this classic episode, so you have been told ahead of time. And this is a classic episode of the Twilight Zone, always remembered as one of the best. And I would agree it's very, very good. It is certainly one of Serling's best scripts. And I think the reason it's so classic is because the main message still resonates very much so today, in my opinion. So what we get is a street of Maple Street, and it looks like your normal street of the time period. And the episode starts with Rod Serling narrating, and then we get some flashing lights and sounds, but nobody is really sure what they are. Then we find out briefly after that the electricity isn't working, but not only the electricity, other things such as cars are not starting or working either. And the townspeople are discussing this. We're introduced to two of the main ones, Steve and Charlie. And we are also introduced to a boy named Tommy. And he says that nobody should leave because he's read stories where people from other places have come and they've told nobody to leave. And they never specifically use the word aliens, I don't believe, which is interesting, but that is what is implied. So now they're still talking about what to do, and some discussions going on about the townspeople. And right away you can see that Claude Akins' character Steve represents more of the voice of reason, and Jack Weston's character of Charlie is more of the paranoid person who freaks out about everything. So all of a sudden we get to another man named Les, and his car all of a sudden starts. So right away people start giving into the boy's story to a point that maybe somebody among them is not really a human, they are disguised as an alien. Well, of course, he defends himself as his car is going on and off. He's questioned, and they ask him why he looks up at the sky early in the morning and at night, and he tells them it's because he has insomnia and can't sleep. And he tells them they better be careful because they are sick people and they don't want to start something they'll later regret, which turns out to be very true. So, and at this point, we're really building up to a sense of paranoia among these people. They're really starting to convince themselves that this is what's happening. So we cut to the next scene, the second part of the episode, and it is nighttime. And everybody is watching this man and his family that has been accused. And I find it interesting that Charlie's character says that it's not normal for a man to look up in the sky at night. Really? Even in this era? Really? I don't know about that. It seems like Charlie's the strange one. I mean, that's just me. But anyway, or maybe he's just trying to justify in his head this as an explanation for what's going on. So anyway, Steve continues to try and be the voice of reason for the most part. And Charlie continues to act the way he's acting, which is like a paranoid nut, in my opinion, for the most part. And basically the message of this is that people want a scapegoat for things they don't understand. And this is still true today. This is some of the things that happen in the world when people have a hard time understanding each other. So what it comes down to is people start accusing each other more and more, and someone comes down the road and it's dark and they don't know who it is, and Charlie panics, freaks out, and shoots the man. Well, they find out that it is just a man from the next street over that was coming maybe to see what was going on. So Charlie tries to rationalize this basically by, saying he didn't know it was a person under the situation, what else could he do? Things like this, and all of a sudden the lights start flickering on and off in his house. So now people are suspecting him. Then he suspects the young boy Tommy, who told them the story to begin with. And all of a sudden, lights start going on and off in all kinds of different people's houses, and everybody starts freaking out, accusing everybody else. And you basically see where this is just going to keep going on in a circle over and over again. So we cut away to the final scene, and we see two men talking, and we see them with some kind of remote control gadget, and they talk about how you can see that they've orchestrated this. They say you mess with their power, you turn off some of their things, and they all go crazy on each other. So their plan ultimately is to just let people destroy themselves. By doing this, they don't have to do anything. I guess we're to assume they'll just walk in when it's over and take care of everything. And then they go up in their ship, and we get Rod Serling's narration about how people's most dangerous enemy is themselves. And that can be true sometimes. This episode has a great moral lesson behind it about, being careful about things that we don't understand and really trying to take the time to think before we act. This is a timeless episode with a timeless message. There are a couple slight things that feel like they're just a bit stagey or out there, and the character stereotypes are pretty basic. There's not really a lot, but in a half-hour time period, I guess you had to have like a voice of reason character, a panicked character, a suspect character. I don't know if there's any other way this really could have been done, so I'll let that pass for the most part. And just a couple of the scenes, the way they're acted, feel a little bit staged, like they're done more for convenience than believability. But those are just slight things. Overall, there's a reason why this is remembered as one of the great Twilight Zone episodes. And this is a big success. People wonder why a show like this is still talked about today. This episode would be a perfect one to start someone on who's never seen the show. And I give The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street a 4.5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching.